Welcome back to Absurd Automotive. Today is my final video of the Fummins rebuild, and I'm hopeful we're going to be driving this thing around, and I think we're going to talk about why I built the truck. I know I've mentioned this is my dream truck, but I don't think I ever really discussed why it is my dream truck, so we'll probably dive into that a little bit today. But yeah, hopefully this is the last video of the truck being built, and we can finally get it out and about Alaska and actually do some content with it. So yeah, stay tuned and enjoy. Alright, so we are all done with the interior on the truck, and now we're going to work on the engine bay. We need to install our entire coolant system and our entire exhaust system, other than the manifold. So we have a brand new radiator going in here that is the correct radiator for the build that I put together. And then the exhaust, we have a bunch of 3-inch pipe that we're gonna make up a down pipe, and we're gonna make our long exhaust go all the way out the back of the truck so it looks somewhat stock. It's not gonna be stock, obviously, but it's gonna look better than just a side dump going out the side of this thing that just half-ass put together with a flex pipe and some other stuff. So we're going to work on that and get this done and get it back together, running and driving hopefully today. That way I can turn the truck around and do the bed liner and stuff tomorrow, and then I can work on the grill and get that all together, hopefully. So let's dive into this and see how bad this is all gonna go.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Dangerous times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground in sight. Fly forever if you keep it tight. Love the world, but keep the sky on your mind. Flying, get on board. We're soaring on top of the world. Flying, get on board. We're soaring on top of the world.
All right, so with the truck almost being done, I've never talked about why I wanted to build the truck in the first place and what this truck really means to me and why it's so important to me that I did all these things to it, like 12L swap it, paint it the way I painted it, and to use the truck, right? I do have a lot of reasons why this truck is the way it is and why I built this truck. So we're gonna jump into that. I know I keep saying that this is my childhood dream truck, and it really, truly is my absolute dream truck. I would not pick another truck. I would not paint it differently. This is it. And it's not exactly what I envisioned, but no build ever is. I've had a lot of weird little things I've had to adapt to and do differently, but I think it looks really good, and I'm glad that it turned out this way. So I guess going back to the childhood where this started. I grew up with a lot of siblings, and I grew up with a lot of cousins. And there was two sides of my family. There was my mom's side and my dad's side. My dad's side was more of the industrial, hardworking, mechanical side. Like, we worked on trucks and cars a lot. We did a lot of firewood for some reason. That was a big part of my childhood, was firewood. It's just so dumb. But the dent sides were the workhorse of that side of my family, my dad's side. My grandfather was actually the one that was the dent side guy. He had probably 4 or 5 sitting in the hedgerow growing up. Like, when I was growing up, he had 4 or 5 there that he left when he passed away. So there was just a bunch of old trucks like these just sitting out in the field that just always looked super cool to me. So I ended up falling in love with the dent sides at a really young age. And then we'll jump over to my other side, my mom's side. My grandfather's dream truck was I don't know if it was his dream truck, but it was the truck that he really wanted, and it was the last truck he had before he passed away, and I have a lot of good memories in that truck. It was a 1994 Ford F-250, and it was a blue and white two-tone truck. Kind of like this. It had the white top, white side, and it was blue. It was beautiful. We took our last ride in that to a little diner where I used to live, and that was kind of my last interaction where it was just me and him. And yeah, I don't know. That truck stuck with me. I wanted a two-tone. I wanted a two-tone dent side truck. Obviously, I wanted it to come and swapped. That was kind of a running joke between all the younger kids. That was kind of a fad. I guess that's the right word at the time. And I don't know, I had this vision of a two-tone come and swap truck, and I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I was very young and all that stuff. But jump forward a little bit past that, I bought my first truck, which was a 79 Ford F-350, big 35s, raised 3 inches or whatever, and it wasn't what I wanted. But it was a good deal. It was an awesome truck, and I had some fun with it for a little bit of time. We then fast forward even farther to when I sold that truck. I never wanted to own a stock dent side ever again. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. It's a love-hate relationship with those trucks. You know, they're carbureted, they've got bad gas mileage, they don't go very far with the small tanks they have on them from the factory, depending on, you know, all the stuff. It just wasn't, it wasn't what I wanted. So when I moved to South Dakota, I never thought I'd build this truck this early in my life. I thought this was going to be like a way farther down the road project, but I was scrolling Marketplace and I saw this truck, and then I saw my donor truck for the Cummins right next to each other on Facebook Marketplace, and I don't think I took a screenshot of it, but I should have. And I texted both of them, and I was like, I'll give you this for it, and I'll give you this for it. And I ended up with 2 American Rust stories that I wanted to turn into something amazing. Well, fast forward 2 years after that, we got to here. Now, when I sold my truck, the old Ford that I had, it was a single cab, and like I said, I had issues with it, right? I just couldn't use it as a truck. So when I started building this, 1, I wanted to still be able to use it as a truck. 2, I wanted it to be reliable, I wanted it to start consistently, and I wanted it to be parts available for it all the time. I wanted it to be a 2-tone, I wanted it to be extended cab, I wanted it to be 4-wheel drive, I wanted this very specific truck. And then the paint job I was stuck on. I didn't know what I wanted to do for a paint job. And then it clicked that the tractor truck, when me and my siblings and cousins were a lot younger, we made this joke about how Cummins trucks, like the old Dodge Cummins trucks, were called tractor trucks because they had a tractor motor in it. I don't think the Cummins has ever been a tractor motor, but that was the joke, that it was a tractor truck. So I thought about that, and I was like, when I do the paint job, I should throw something out there that was like an old tractor, right? And I couldn't think of anything that had 2 tones that I liked until I came upon the Internationals, the old Internationals, at the red and white old Internationals. And somebody drove one of those by my house, and it was real faded, but it was a red and tan look, kind of. And it was supposed to be white, but it looked tan because it was dirty and whatever else. And I was like, that's what I'm going to paint the truck. It's going to be red and tan 2-tone this. And it's kind of a mixture of both my grandfather's and my life's kind of mixed all in one, right? And that's kind of what it's turning out to be. It was a very long and thought out process, but it only took me 2 years to get it to this point. I mean, I built it where it was running and driving, and I did that in like 6 months. Then I drove it across the country. I drove it from South Dakota to New York, and then New York all the way up to Alaska, and that was ridiculous. And then the last 2 years, I've been kind of just getting it to this point. So, this has been it. This is the truck for me. I don't think I would ever trade this truck. I don't think I want any other older truck that's gonna replace this. I don't think I'm ever gonna sell it. At least I hope not. We'll kind of see what life does and happens. I'm not like sentimentally attached to this thing just yet. It's still just a truck to me. But it's a lot of meaning behind why I wanted this truck, right? It was the childhood I grew up in, the jokes that me and my cousins had between each other, and just it's what I grew up with. It's what I grew up with, these older 2-tone Fords, and Ford was like the family thing. I don't know why. I really don't know why my family likes Ford so much, but it was, it's 3 generations of Ford owners. It's just what we had and what we liked. And like I said, this was the workhorse of America right here. At least my America. These trucks have got so many stories in my family, from hauling woods and logs to just, I don't know, it's just a lot of stories that these trucks have in my family. And like I said, both sides of my family's had Fords. Obviously my grandfather on my mom's side had a little more of a newer Ford. I don't really like the nose of those. I don't really like the look of them, but I like the 2-tone, and the 2-tone was what stuck with me because it was a fancier truck. Versus my grandfather with the dent sides always just had 1-color trucks. They never had the 2-tone trucks, or at least the ones I never saw 2-tone trucks. It was only just single cab, single color. And when I wanted to build my dream truck, this is what I envisioned, and I wanted it a little bit less in your face. But I don't really know how to make it so it's not so in your face. Like, I don't know how you build a truck like this and not have it be very obnoxious in a lot of different ways. Like, I have a Fummins swapped, custom painted, relatively rare. They're not like really, really rare, but in good condition, like extended cab Fords. This thing is just awesome, but it's also not everybody's cup of tea, so I have to stay respectful and, you know, not annoy everybody with this thing. Because it is loud, it's very obnoxious, it can blow smoke, and like, it is four-wheel drive. It's a beautiful, beautiful machine. That's why. That is why it is painted in this two-tone red and tan and with a Fummins in it. That's why that's there. That's why the way it is. That's the dream. That's been the dream, and it's kind of my childhood and all of my family kind of mixed up, and a lot of emotions and mixed up and just projected in an art form truck version. I don't really know how to explain that. But yeah, that's why. That is why this truck is my dream truck. That is why I don't think I'll ever sell the truck. And yeah, I want to go and make every memorable memory and adventure possible with this truck. I'm going to use this and drive it until the wheels fall off, and then I'll probably end up rebuilding it again after that. But yeah, this is my America. This is my dream. This is a part one of my American dream life. You know, I want to farm one day and have a shop to be able to work on my cars and stuff like that. And this is just kind of the work truck to be able to afford / use around my property when I get there. Oh, this has been a road for sure. This has been a process. Honestly, most builds for most people take them quite a long time, at least when they're doing them themselves. This truck took me 2 years to put together, and it took me 6 months to get it running and driving, to drive it across the country. And that was kind of crazy, actually, doing that. But now this thing is absolutely gorgeous and just about done. We got to get a few things together, but I wanted to make this video and just talk about it to, one, give myself a little more motivation to finish it, because like I'm starting to get a little bummed out that I'm just not able to drive it yet. It just sits in my driveway and looks pretty, and I don't get to do anything with it. But yeah, the other thing too is I wanted to share a little bit of personal information about the build. All right, so I'm gonna keep the hood open pretty much, just to be able to see everything. I'm gonna check some stuff before I start this thing up. Double check it all one more time. One more time, double checking everything. Just because you know me and I might have forgotten something. I'm a little worried about this too, because I don't have my cover for my turbo yet. So if anything flies into my turbo, I'm out of turbo, and I don't have another one to replace that, because I've already broken one, and I really don't want to break another one. All right, let's just check on the truck, just because. Okay, well, here we go. So much quieter than what she was before. It sounds really good. And with the hood closed, she sounds even quieter. Like in the cab, I can barely hear it. You know, it's not so loud. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's still relatively loud. I'm still kind of screaming, talking in camera, but I'm not going deaf driving this thing. Listen to this turbo whistle. I can't wait to drive this thing down the road and like see what she sounds like going down the road. She's a lot quieter. Here, I'll show you the cab. A lot quieter in the cab, like significantly. Ooh. Close the window. So much quieter in here too. Now I can actually hear myself think and talking here. All right, folks, there we go. The Fummins is completely together. We're gonna take it out to North Pole today. We're gonna go around and just get some beautiful film of it and enjoy the truck that took me so long to build. So come along with me, my wife, and my dog, and we're gonna go out and hopefully get some food. All right, well, we ran it the other day. Let's see if she starts. Oh, she sounds beautiful. Isn't that right, Murph? All right, well, we made it out to North Pole. Truck's looking very good. Murph's stuck in there. So you want to fry? Yeah, well, good boy. Say hi. Listen to the turbo. That's not the turbo. That's not the turbo. Listen to the turbo. You hear that? That's hell. The only day I take this, the first day I take this out, I check the weather and say it's supposed to sprinkle a little bit. No, freshly painted truck and it's hailing on it.
You're gonna miss your turn.
I'm a little stressed out right now, okay? Brand new friggin' truck and it's got hail damage. Brand new paint job and it's got hail damage already. Well, you know, most of the trucks these days, when people build trucks like these, then you gotta scratch it. I guess this is my scratch. First time driving it since I built it, and it hails. I'm not saying it's ruined, but it was definitely hitting it pretty hard. So we'll see. We'll see if it's damaged. The streets are literally flooded right now. The one day I decided to take my truck, we're still hailing. Look at this. It's completely flooded. And you can see it through the windshield. First day I took it out. First day. And I'm already putting this thing through hell. This is great. That is just my luck. The first day I took the truck out, it hailed, and I don't see any damage on the truck, thankfully. But yeah, I guess that's her break-in. just took her to North Pole to get some food and have a nice little thing, and basically took her through a lake, and she got hailed on in the first day. So I guess that goes to show this truck's not going to have an easy life.